The COVID-19 pandemic has seen thousands of people admitted to hospital, but smartphone technology, dubbed a hospital at home by Huma, has allowed clinicians to monitor patients at home, freeing up beds and reducing transmission. Now, with millions of patients on waiting list backlogs, the same technology is reassuring many other patients that clinicians are closely monitoring their conditions at home. Donna Bernard reports on how digital technology is transforming medicine.
As the number of patients in hospital threatened to overwhelm the NHS during the pandemic, some of them were able to remain at home thanks to a remote monitoring system created in conjunction with the digital health company Huma.
When you look at this technology and you see how it works, you can really understand the reassurance it gives both patients and clinicians. Patients know they're being closely monitored at home, while clinicians can get help to their patients quickly if they see signs of deterioration.
So it's an app on the phone. From the patient perspective, what they do is 3 times a day, they put in their temperature, their heart rate, their oxygen levels with the probe that we give them, and they have a space to write how they're feeling once a day as well. And then we have a dashboard in our clinic where we're constantly monitoring all the patients. And if anyone is deteriorating from their symptoms, or their temperature or their heart rate goes up, or their oxygen levels drop, it immediately flags up on the system, and the patient gets a call from a GP within 10 minutes.
I became ill quite quickly. 3 times a day I was putting in my oxygen saturations, my temperature, my symptoms, and to know that somebody was looking at those 3 times a day was really reassuring.
The benefits of the Huma app go beyond COVID. The data gathered is being used to power research into other diseases, manage patients with a range of long-term conditions, and also help tackle the growing waiting list backlog. Those whose data indicate they're deteriorating quickly can be successfully prioritised for treatment. It can also empower patients to manage their own health with support from their care team, whether it's preoperative advice or just learning how to eat more healthily.
So the technology is effectively a management system devised between the clinician and the patient.
Anybody who's involved in the care of that patient have access to a web-based dashboard where all the data that is being submitted by the patient, either passively or actively, is visualized in real time for the clinical team to review.
This hospital-at-home technology has the potential to change the whole landscape of healthcare.
If you look at past 2-3 years, from the works that we have done across different nations at largest scale possible, and some of the other players in the market that they have done, we think it has set a tone that going forward, digital is the #1 most important in agenda within anyone driving healthcare or research.
I've already had feedback from a patient saying that it's the most valuable app he's got on the phone at the moment.
Cardiac nurse Vicky Jenkins is leading a trial with Huma, monitoring heart patients, and is thrilled with how easy the app is to use.
It's quicker and easier and more informative than a 10-minute phone call to look within a couple of minutes on the data on the platform.
Diabetes care is one of the biggest costs to the NHS, and here too Huma's app is changing the way patients can manage themselves as part of a North London pilot called Discover Now.
So we're seeing people using the technology on a daily basis, uploading their things like blood pressure, their blood glucose levels, photos of their food, their well-being scores and so on. So yes, it's been very well accepted.
You just need a phone, a connectivity, and an app. And the good things about technology is as scalable as you want. You can have 1 billion people on it and still not cost you much per capita.